The new legal aid rules do not provide proper remuneration for all criminal cases. This was the view of the Bar Council, whose chairman addressed the opening of the legal year this week. Melo Triai told the court that the new rules were the subject of continuing discussion with the government. The court also paid tribute to the Attorney General, Ricky Roda QC, who addressed court for the last time after 18 years of service.
The opening of the legal year is a grand occasion for the legal community. Steeped in ceremony and tradition, it's also an opportunity to publicly raise the issues affecting the profession. Legal aid and legal assistance have been the subject of fierce debate over the last few days at a political level, and although the chairman of the bar hasn't waded into those political waters, he's made the view known that there are still some subjects left to discuss.
They have been the subject of a long consultation process with the Bar Council. The rates have been agreed with the Bar Council. But there is the issue of what I have termed, not in my speech, but in other discussions, the exceptionally exceptional case. So we are dealing with that, and it's something that we are still consulting with the government on.
So consultation is still ongoing?
We have various issues we need to deal with. It's not just about the rates. The legal aid system needs a general review, and also the legal assistance. So there's much more to this than just the criminal side.
Mr. Triai also raised a burning issue for the legal profession: the difference in qualification routes between barristers and solicitors in Gibraltar. He says barristers can be called to the bar and start working almost immediately, but solicitors have to complete a 2-year training requirement. He warned students to consider this carefully before choosing their careers.
It's not just the time, it's the fact that there is the anomaly that we train as barristers and then come and practice as solicitors. And if you trained as a solicitor, you might not be able to do that because there may not be a training contract available for you. So there's something wrong with our system which we need to address.
Finally, Mr. Triai, who is addressing the opening of the legal year as chairman for the last time, said the bar was disappointed it had not received clarification on the new rules for new QC appointments. Ricky Roda QC becomes the longest-serving Attorney General in Gibraltar's history. For 18 years he's held this post, and in that time he's seen both his own chambers and Gibraltar's court system change dramatically.
For a start, the way the legal profession has grown, it has grown exponentially. The number of judges has doubled since I was here. The sort of cases that we have are longer, more complex cases. The legislation that we now have is much more complex. We had slipped behind England and Wales in criminal law, and thankfully we've now caught up. We have the up-to-date legislation, we have the new court buildings, and in every way I think the whole process has become much more streamlined.
In an emotional address, Mr. Roda said the staff and resources available to his chambers were unrecognizable from what he had inherited 18 years ago, and assured the court that no resource was underutilized. He said the changes to the Criminal Procedure Act had produced a major change in the workload for his staff, but ended by saying he was enormously proud of the work they did. Meanwhile, the president of the law courts, Sir Paul Kennedy, told the legal profession it could be proud of what it had achieved in Gibraltar, with more lawyers in practice than ever, more judges, and a highly trained and professional court staff. The court also paid tribute to Katie Dawson, the former registrar who died this year, and congratulated the new criminal judge, Adrian Jack, as well as the 4 new QCs on their appointments.
And we'll be back with more of this week's news after this break.
Good morning, Grand Home Care. Granny speaking.
Grand Home Care gives you a helping hand. Specialised services aimed at helping those in need of home care or assistance, personal care, practical support and housekeeping, physiotherapy, acupuncture, on-call GP visits, night sits and Alzheimer's and dementia care. Grand Home Care staff are carefully screened, qualified and have a strong background in caregiving. Call 200 65577 or visit ghc.gi for more details. Grand Home Care. Support for independent living. Grand Home Care is a private home care provider and is a member of the UK Home Care Association.
Welcome back. The government this week announced a working group to review the Category 2 individual programme. The group is made up of industry professionals who will advise the government on how best to expand and improve the product. It was during his budget address 3 months ago that the Chief Minister, Fabian Picardo, announced the creation of the working group, a group that will review, update and ensure products available to finance centre professionals are fit for purpose and relevant in today's world economy. The Category 2 product, which sees Category 2 tax residents paying just under £30,000 in tax, was originally introduced by the previous GSLP government in 1992 and has attracted high net worth individuals to Gibraltar. The government believes a review is long overdue, and the working group will consider all aspects of the status, including its process, application and functionality, and will engage with professionals experienced internationally in this area, including current holders of this status, before it reports back to government. Those in the working group include former Deputy Chief Minister Peter Montegrifo, Chairman of the Finance Centre Council, Stephen Reyes, Deputy Chairman of the Finance Centre Council, Nicholas Cruz, Chairman of ADCOM, Chairman of the Bar Council, Melod Triai, Peter Isola, Chairman of STEP, and former Chairman of the GSA, Freddie White. They met with the Chief Minister today at number 6. The Chief Minister said he was grateful to those in the working group for agreeing to pool their skills and expertise in the best interests of Gibraltar. The UK's candidate to join the European Commission, Lord Hill, was asked to attend a second hearing of MEPs. It was there that the Maltese MEP asked Lord Hill whether the financial services industry in regions like Malta and Gibraltar should be safeguarded and enhanced. This is what Lord Hill had to say about this.
Well, I think the basic point that we should strive for is to make sure that whatever services are being offered and provided from wherever they are, that people are operating on a level playing field. And we can't have a situation whereby some people within the European Union are operating under a set of rules which are more onerous than those of other people trying to have access. So I think the principle that one needs to adopt is to make sure that across the piece, whatever area it's in, European businesses aren't having to compete with a hand tied behind their back, and that we have common approaches and rules delivered through international bodies which we worked up, whether that's on transparency through the OECD or other fora, and that we then apply those and uphold them.
Former Housing and Employment Minister Pepe Baldacchino is the new chairman of the Gibraltar Socialist Labour Party, taking over from Juan Carlos Perez, who had been chairman since 2007. Mr. Baldacchino thanked Mr. Perez for the work he has done over the years, and he believes the GSLP, together with the Liberal Party, is in a good position to be elected for a second term.
Well, the GSLP is a party for government and for nothing else. Even though when we are being elected in opposition, we have taken the role that the electors have given us. But we are a party for government, and therefore we cannot aspire to anything else but to be in government. I think the government has almost completed its manifesto commitment in education, in housing, in the Civil Partnership Act, and in every other area where you have now a beautiful garden in the middle of town. And in medical services we also have seen advancements, so it's a great achievement for this government to have done it in such a short period of time.
The Cross Frontier Group has slammed the works being carried out on the Spanish side of the border, describing them as wholly unsatisfactory and even dangerous. The group, which brings together local and Campo area unions and business organizations, questions Spain's commitment to improving frontier flow and says it will be writing once again to the European Commission to highlight the problems EU citizens are having to face on a daily basis.
Works on the Spanish side of the frontier, supposedly to speed up crossings in line with the European Commission's recommendations, finally got underway last week, but appear to be progressing at a snail's pace. The Gibraltar government has expressed scepticism about Madrid's true intentions, and a few days ago the Foreign Secretary Philip Hammond said the UK would follow progress very closely, so that the works don't turn into an excuse for further delays. Now, the Cross Frontier Group has added its voice of concern.
We are not satisfied with the works being done in such an unsafe manner, which not liaising with our authorities, for example, could have alleviated things. The flow still remains on one lane coming into Gib and going out or going into Spain, and this obviously causing greater delays. Well, as normal, they still insist, in not complying with the health and safety matters and the Commission directives, which they seem to bypass, any chance they have. Obviously, they are taking advantage of the Gibraltar situation, to create further issues, and they're not supplying the proper resources to the national police.
According to some reports, outgoing queues have been less severe in recent days, but Unite is unimpressed.
Well, it is not my personal impression, because I've been delayed going in and out. So I think that there has been a great delay since the work started, but obviously it may be that yet again it's another Spanish government tactic, because they want to engage and get into the Security Council, and this is why they might be using this way of easing the way into it.
The Cross Frontier Group says it will keep up the pressure on Spain, highlighting the frontier delays and making sure Brussels is aware of them.
Absolutely. As I said earlier on, our aim is to normalise and free flow of traffic and normalise the passage of those 12,000 EU nationals. So we will keep on insisting at national level, international level, and we will write again to the European Commission to try and make the Spanish government comply with all the requisites.
That's all from News Review this evening. For the rest of this week's news, you can head over to our website, gbc.gi/news. Thank you very much for watching. From the team, good night.